Hello, wonderful Crips. My name's Hazel. I'm part of the remote Crips Against Cuts groups, and we really want to welcome you all to our first Micro Action Monday. I want to talk about a couple of access things first. I want to introduce our BSL speakers and my wonderful co-host, and then we're going to do some housekeeping. So access things. So right now, captions should be enabled for this live stream. We managed to fix the problem that happened at our first online protest, so captions should be there throughout. And we have our wonderful BSL speakers, Harry and Sophie. Harry, do you want to quickly say hello, as you are the one currently interpreting?
Hello, my name is Harry. My pronouns are they and them, and I'm a registered BSL interpreter.
Wonderful. Can we hear from Sophie if you're still here?
Sorry. Hello, my name is Sophie. I am same as Harry. I'm a registered BSL interpreter. My pronouns are she, her.
Amazing. And can we hear from my co-host, Jai?
Hello, hello. How is everybody this evening?
Yay! I can see that we've got a few people here on chats, which is amazing. Thank you all for being here. I just want to say a few quick things about what we're going to be doing this evening. I have a script somewhere with a little welcome speech on it. Where are you? Here we are. So first things first, so we're part of Crips Against Cuts. Crips Against Cuts are a Crip and disabled-led grassroots group organising action to try and fight UK Labour from driving more of our community into poverty. Crips Against Cuts have been organising protests all over the country, and us remote Crips have been doing protests and other actions online. We ran our first online protest 3 weeks ago now, and one of the things that came up for us was first that a 3-hour protest is quite long and uses up quite a lot of spoons for people in our community. So we wanted a way of doing smaller actions that we could be doing more consistently and without as many adverse consequences for members of our community with limited energy. So this is what we're going to be doing, is every Monday we are going to be doing kind of shorter, more concise, more targeted actions together. And it's going to be different every week. So we have plans for actions including creating collective music videos, leaving social media comments on prominent MPs, things. We have plans for a vigil. We have plans for kind of targeting areas where Labour is kind of most at risk of losing by-elections and things like this. But for this first one, we just wanted to kind of recreate some of those actions that we did in our first online protest together. So I'm going to hand it over now to Jai, who's going to explain a little bit more about the actions that we're going to be taking today and how you can take part in them.
Yes, hello everybody. I hope everyone has had a happy Easter and a very merry bank holiday today. So yes, today's itinerary is not that piece of paper. Today's itinerary is that we will get started on our first action. We'll have a break at 7:55 for 5 minutes, hopefully, and then we should start our second action at 8 p.m. The first one we're going to be doing is mass emailing MPs, and the second one we are going to be creating some of that ASCII art again, if you remember from last time, and then swamping the comments of the busiest 3 places on YouTube instead of the busiest 3 places of the street at the end of this. And you should be able to find all the information that you'll need in the easy read document, which I've just shared in the comments, and it should be shared again. So don't worry too much about that. You'll be able to get to that. And within that has all of the petitions that Crips Against Cuts, have them circulating. And yeah, also has the 2 actions that we will be doing in them in a little bit more detail and with all the links that you're going to need. So I mean, I myself will be using the easy read follow along, so yeah, it's a good document for knowing what's going on. And I think therefore we will probably in a second get back to Hazel, who will do a much better job than I will at explaining exactly what our first action is going to mean, as we are going to be doing some mass emailing in a minute. But until then, how is everybody doing in the comments section? Oh, it's nice to see how so many of you, to be honest. Oh yes, and also in the easy read, and we'll make sure that that's linked in the link tree as well. By the end of this, that's there's also the link to add your own art if you're disabled and you want to add some art to the slideshow. That's yeah, that started today's event. Yeah, we would love to have more and more art for that slideshow, so yeah, definitely keep sending that in. And yeah, the link is also in that easy read document, which yes, also quite soon should be probably in the description. Oh, and I see Becca has sent it again. And now I think we've got some lovely birdsong there from Hazel.
Yes, sorry, that was, I can't believe the birdsong was loud enough to be heard by other people. I apologise for that. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe birdsong is exactly what we need in moments like this. Yes, thank you, Jai. So yes, I've had a little bit of a cold this weekend, so I'm battling that currently. And the birdsong is back. So yeah, so the easy read document, it is both in the description and it has now been shared in the comments. Just to say that the actions that we're going to be taking, we're going to be using kind of different websites, we're going to be using different apps. So you might find it easier to be following along if you're using a computer than a mobile phone. But we're going to do our best to kind of explain each step and what you need to do, whether you're on a mobile or whether you're on a laptop. The first thing that we're going to be doing is that we are going to be emailing 5 MPs. We have specifically chosen 5 backbench MPs. So these are the MPs who, backbench MPs are the people who've mostly been joining the rebellion so far and said that they are going to be voting against the kind of party line. So we've specifically chosen backbench MPs. And these are also MPs who have high PIP caseloads and quite low electoral majorities. So we've chosen 5 MPs who are hopefully in the best position to be changing their minds and to be voting against the party line. So we're going to be emailing them. Again, in the easy read description, in the easy read document linked in the description, there'll also be an email template that I'm going to share in a moment with you. One of the quirks of the way that we're doing this live stream is that once we start sharing our screen, we're actually going to not be able to see our BSL interpreters anymore. So we just want to explain everything that we're going to do before we share our screen. The captions will stay, but the BSL interpreters are only going to be visible while we're in this Zoom call rather than while we're sharing our screen. So in a moment, I'm going to share screen and you'll be able to see the email template that we're going to be using, and we're going to be encouraging you to opening up your email apps, and we're going to be trying to email all 5 of these MPs in succession, one at a time. And that's the first action that we're going to be doing together. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to now share my screen, and I'm going to initially share the easy read so that you guys, if you haven't been able to find it yet, you'll be able to see what's included in it. And then we'll go over to the email template and we'll start sending our emails. Great. So this is the easy read that hopefully you've been able to see. Again, this is linked in both the description and now in the comments section. And you'll be able to find the email templates if you scroll down to where we start talking about our first actions. So here. So if you click this link, it will take you to a separate Google document which contains, many people are already here, wonderful, which contains the email addresses of the 5 people that we're going to be emailing, as well as an email template that we've created. This email template speaks quite deliberately to the PIP aspects of the changes, quite deliberately because we've chosen these MPs for having a high PIP caseload. In future weeks, we may do email campaigns that target kind of different aspects of the proposed changes if it feels like that is a better way of reaching certain MPs. But for this week, we're going to be focusing specifically by highlighting how the changes to PIP are going to be affecting people. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be copying this into our email program of choice. I'm going to try to do this fairly slowly because the first time I did this, I was doing it too quickly for people. So if you head to your email app of choice, mine will be Gmail, because for my sins, I still use Google for most things. And we're just going to paste that into the body of a new email that we're going to be sending. We are going to choose our first person, which is Paul Waugh, MP for Rochdale. And we're going to put that in our recipients. And we are going to, what are we going to entitle this? We are going to entitle this concerns regarding proposed disability benefit cuts. We're going to say, Dear Paul, writing to you today regarding the proposed changes to the benefit system. I'm not going to read the whole email, but this feels like a helpful thing to do while a few people are kind of catching up. I and many others like me are very concerned about the impacts of these changes. I'm writing to you because these changes will have a bigger impact in your constituency than most places. Your constituency has some of the highest level of PIP recipients in the country, far more than your electoral majority. I hope you will do right by your consistency and vote against these proposed cuts. The changes to PIP, restricting access to only those who receive 4 points or more in a single descriptor, will harm people who need significant help and support throughout their day. People who need someone to remind them to eat, wash and dress, or need to be supervised doing these. People who need help washing their lower body. People who need someone to cut up their meal or who use a feeding tube. People who need an aid, supervision or assistance to go to the toilet. PIP is not awarded for meeting only one of these descriptors. PIP is awarded when the claimant needs small amounts of support across multiple domains or larger amounts of support in one domain. We also reference as part of this the recent Freedom of Information Act that kind of revealed how many people are going to be losing their stuff in relation to this. I just saw a comment asking, will MPs respond if we don't live in their constituency? No, they won't. So this is kind of very much it's an email that we're sending in an attempt to encourage them to think about this. But parliamentary rules dictate that MPs are not allowed to respond to people who are not living in their constituency. As part of this, we have created a spreadsheet which includes all of the MPs, their PIP caseloads, and whether they are backbench MPs or not. So something that we can do after this stream is that we can share that with you. We can share that, and you can look up whether your own MP is one of those in that position of having a high PIP caseload, and then feel free to send this email directly to your MP if that's something that applies to them. I think that would be very effective. But for now, this is just about kind of kicking down a few doors, leaving an angry letter, and running away, as the case may be. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to sign off with my name, which is Hazel. All right. So we're about to send this letter. We're going to send our first letter to Paul. I am going to click send in 3, 2, 1. Send. That is the first email sent. Amazing. And now I'm going to start getting ready to send our second email, this time to Kevin. I can see somebody's already down at Sonia. Somebody is racing ahead, which is absolutely fine. We can send these emails to as many MPs as we can. That'd be great. And I'm just going to copy this from my existing email. Excuse me. If you want to personalize any aspects of these, particularly if this is going to an MP who is your personal MP, I really encourage you to think about personalizing this. I think as a general rule, MPs are less likely to respond to things that look like mass mailers. I think sometimes that will just trigger their spam filter. I think the size of this group, we've got 30 people engaging in these actions right now, is quite an interesting size. I think that will skip right through any of their spam detection filters, because we're not talking about hundreds or thousands of emails. We're talking about a relatively small, but still kind of significant number. So I'm confident that these emails are going to get through to people. And if one of these MPs is your personal MP, then I absolutely recommend personalizing it. One thing that I found particularly abhorrent about the Green Paper was how much they kept referencing. They like to compare things to the size of things, kind of comparing the size of the cost of PIP to how much it costs the NHS, to how much it would cost to run the police, the number of people claiming, comparing it to the size of Birmingham. The fact that we've got 250,000 people that this is going to put in poverty is larger than just about any of the cities that these people are living in, and that's something that I encourage us maybe to be thinking about including as well when we start emailing our MPs, is kind of pointing out just how many people 250,000 people is to them. All right, I'm going to press send on this email to Kevin in 3, 2, 1, go. 2 emails sent, 3 to go. I'm going to say less during this one so I don't lose my voice for the whole thing. I saw a comment asking about what's the subject line and are we being consistent? I don't think we need to be consistent. I think there's possibly something to be said for it not being terribly consistent again as well, for reasons of people actually opening it and people actually reading them. What we want to do ideally is we want these emails to be read at least by the MP themselves and not by one of their aides or one of the people on their staff. We want this to be read by the MPs. So I think actually if you use your own tagline, that could help with that. Yeah. Third email address, who are we emailing? We're emailing Sonia. Thank you all so much for being here and taking part in this as well. It's amazing having so many Crips here with us, taking part in these actions. Really appreciate it. All right. I'm going to send this email to Sonia in 3, 2, 1, send. Woo! Pretend that little whoop was less cringy than it was, please. All right, so next we're going to be emailing Luke Meyer. From Middlesbrough, South and East Cleveland. Okay, Luke, I have some concerns regarding proposed disability benefit cuts. Some people are using different subject lines for each individual email as well. I would be doing that if I had the spoons mentally to do that while also talking to 30 people, but I don't. So this is what I'm doing instead. All right, let's say, dear Luke, and I'm going to click send in 3, 2, 1, send. Amazing. One more email to send, and then we will have sent collectively 150 emails because there's 30 of us, and we're emailing 5 MPs, which I think is pretty great. It's a lot for a small group of people to be able to do. And we're going to be doing actions at least on this scale every single week, at least until the next National Day of Action, which is going to be in June. So we're going to be sending together on these Mondays thousands of emails. This week we're targeting these types of MPs. I think in coming weeks we are going to be emailing councillors, we're going to be emailing lords, we're going to be sending emails targeting areas that we feel are particularly weak in these local elections, because I think the local elections are going to be an important point for Labour to see how much of these protests is actually going to translate into electoral problems for them. So I think that's a really important target for us to be working towards. We might also be emailing journalists. We might be emailing universities. Something that I think is quite significant about some of these places that are on this list is that they're university towns. University students and other young people in general, I think, are in an interesting position as far as these cuts are concerned, because one of the ways these cuts are being justified is by talking about how, I believe there's 1 million young people who are not in employment, education or training. And I think that makes their voices particularly valuable when they're coming out in opposition to what's being proposed by saying, you will not give me my future at the expense of taking it away from other disabled people. I think that's a particularly powerful thing, and I think we can start by when we have this sense of where are the local elections where Labour is going to be vulnerable. We can be sending emails to kind of local universities, local academics, local student unions. Wouldn't be a swamping exercise in the same way as this. But yeah, I think we can be really strategic in terms of targeting kind of groups of people and kind of getting them on side and getting them as potential allies. All right, final email to Antonia Bantz from Tipton and Wednesbury. I'm going to be sending my final email in 3, 2, 1, send. That's it. That's the first action. We've all done it together. Thank you so much for doing that together with us. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen. Yeah, and now we're back.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. And yes, I'm so glad to see that there are so many people here. So that's really lovely. I think now we will have just a little bit of a break. It is already nearly 8 o'clock, as you can see. So probably we'll only break till like 3 minutes past 8. But yeah, if you need to have a bit of a move about, take some medication, hug a pet, this is your chance. And yeah, I hope everything Hazel said made sense. I think they explained everything very well about like why we're trying to email and do those mass actions. And from the comments, it kind of seems like everyone was on it and knows what they're doing. So that's really good. I think I'll just take this opportunity to go through the petitions, actually, which are on the easy read. The first one is the Scope petition, which you may have seen, as they actually managed to launch this only a couple of days after the government announced these horrible cuts on us all. And so, yes, I would encourage you to go and sign that one if you haven't already, as that is a very important one, and Scope is doing quite a lot of important work with asking the government about these cuts. And then the next two are both the government petitions, which both of them are about protecting disabled people who can't work from planned cuts. And the other one is a government petition, which is protect disabled benefits, stop changes to PIP and universal credit. So kind of similar, which is why I put them both in. But yes, obviously worth signing those ones as their actual government petitions, which means when they get to their 100,000 signatures, then they have to be debated within Parliament. So that's very important. And then the fourth petition that we have shared is one about allowing transgender people to self-identify their legal gender, which we feel is very important, as you know, there's a lot of Crips who are also trans, and the Supreme Court's decision in the last week you know, is a bit of a blow to how people can actually access public spaces. And obviously I'm not trans myself. However, you know, well, it's a really dangerous precedent for us to start to define and decide who deserves to use what space. I'm sure many here already know, particularly if their disabilities are invisible sometimes, you know, it's awful being told that maybe we're not disabled enough. And, you know, am I disabled enough to be able to use disabled toilets without being questioned about it? Sometimes no, even though my need is still there. So, you know, it's not okay that we're questioning who is deserving and who is not deserving in society, whether it's migrants, disabled people, or trans people. So yeah, that's why we have shared that petition today. And now I'm going to read some comments of it. Some people saying they're a bit behind, but don't worry about that. The links to all these petitions that I've just been talking about are in the easy read follow along. If you scroll back up from where all the stuff about the MPs is, you should be able to see where all those 4 petitions are. And yes, to all those people who have done it a little bit slower, that's absolutely fine. You know, it's a lot to get your head around. You've got to be watching the stream, doing the easy read, and then doing the emails. So it's just great that you can do it whenever you can do it. You know, it doesn't have to be completely now. Yeah, also, you know, if you can email your MP about the cuts at any point, that is also a good action to take outside of Micro Action Monday. And yeah, you can sign the petitions at any point and use the email templates outside of these days as well. But yeah, we're hoping that these will become a thing every Monday. Excuse me. And that we'll be able to do just a few small actions together. And actually, yes, let us know about what time you'd like them to be on a Monday, because we haven't quite figured out whether it should always be at one time or whether we should sort of chop and change it, maybe do some during the day, some in the evening. So yeah, let us know how you feel about that in the comments as well. And in a minute, I will probably pass back to Hazel, as it's now 4 minutes past 8. And we will get on to our second action, which is also in the easy read. And we will be making some ASCII art, which is the sort of digital keyboard art, which means, because uses symbols, it can, it can basically make art within comment sections. I think I have slightly managed to explain that. So yeah, we'll make a couple of those and then post them, and just flood the comments of the top 3 busiest places on YouTube in the last day, I think. Yeah, last 24 hours. And we will get onto that in a minute. Oh yes, I also did mention the artwork folder earlier. Becca has now posted it in the comments, the link to where you can add your art if you would like to. What do people think about responding to consultation on green paper? I'm toured as majority of cuts are not being consulted on. Yes, that's very true. I think there's quite a lot of discussion about a response to the consultation on the green paper. I know that other people in Crips are on that. There's a whole group, which I haven't joined because it's slightly bigger than my spoons, basically, at the moment. I can do that level of academia, but only if it's the only thing I'm doing. So yeah, but also actually I do think Scope maybe have a template about responding to consultations in the meantime. But yeah, also I think you're not wrong. We probably will be doing some actions which surround the green paper at some point. And yes, I think I hear Hazel.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm now slightly concerned. There's a lot of background noise that I don't know about while I'm speaking, but hopefully that's not. I'm also sorry for kind of chopping and changing. Spotlights are a strange function. I'm doing my best to make it as smooth as possible. So we're going to be moving into our second action now, which, as Jai already described for us, we're going to be essentially doing an online march. So in the same way as a physical march would be moving through the busiest streets of a town or a city centre, we're going to be moving through the busiest places on the UK internet from the last 24 hours. The first thing that we're going to be doing is that we're going to be making our protest signs. Those of you who were there at the online protest will already be familiar with this. So as Jai was mentioning, there is a website where you can essentially type slogans, whatever you would like to be on your protest sign, and that will be converted into kind of a series of dots and lines and brackets and forward slashes and hashtags, etc., that kind of form a large kind of art version of those things that you're saying. So it could be No Austerity 2.0, it could be Crips Against Cuts, it could be other things that make sense to say as part of this protest that my brain can't quite conjure at the moment. But yeah, so it's a place for personal expression. Find a sign that kind of speaks to you and speaks to what you would like to say in these kind of public arenas. And then in the description of this video, if you scroll down, there is also a kind of selection of suggested comments to be putting in those places. One thing that we noticed in the first time that we did this was you get kind of like a mixed range of responses from other people who are using those online spaces. Some people will look at us and kind of assume that it's kind of a bot activity or kind of AI activity. Some people will respond with curiosity. Some people will respond with indifference. But something we wanted to try was kind of tailoring the comments that we're making a little bit more to the videos that we're actually posting on. So the 3 that we're posting on today, one is a music video, which is about having anxiety. So potentially feels like a community that's primed to hear our message. really. One is a Britain's Got Talent video, which might be a slightly harder reception, but we've found a way to kind of talk about what we're talking about in a way that's relevant to what happens in that video as well. Somebody sings a wonderful rendition of a song called My Way, which is a song about living a full life independently. And so, you know, these cuts that are very directly threatening our independence, our literal personal independence payments, again, feels like there's a way to talk about that in a way that's relevant to the community that's already there. And then the final video is by a kind of British YouTuber who's a little bit famous for kind of doing stuff that kind of pokes fun and makes mischief at systems of power. So again, hopefully kind of a warm reception that can be met by us there. So in a moment, I'm going to share screen and so that we can all start creating our online protest signs together. The first place where I encourage you to be posting these is just in the comments section as you start making it. Jai, I can see, has already shared welfare, not warfare in that comment section, and no austerity 2.0. And Libby has said there isn't any background noise. Thank you, Libby. But yes, that's going to be the first place that we start doing that. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to share my screen and we're all going to create some protest banners together. All right. See you in the comments section. So here it is. So this is the site. The link to this is both in the comments and in the easy read. And you can type in here whatever you like. So I'm going to type in Crips Against Cuts. And suddenly you have all of these excellent options for artwork that is made up entirely of dots and lines that can be shared. You can also, if you want to take up more space in a comment section, you can do things like this, so it kind of goes across multiple lines. And again, that's how that works. So I'm going to copy this, and hopefully, it's actually a little bit hard for me to paste that into the comment section, but I encourage all of you to be doing that. So again, go to that, the generator. Type in whatever you like in here. Could be Crips Against Cuts. Could be Labour failed us. Could be anything. Could be this isn't what we voted for. Could be save our PIP. Save our universal credit. Whatever it happens to be, people are always incredibly creative with the stuff that they produce as part of this. Somebody's just shared one that doesn't quite work in the chat, which does happen. Some of them are too large. So find one that works for you. Find one that works in kind of the YouTube comment sections. And do share them in the chat. And then what we're going to be doing together is that we're going to be going to a trio of videos. So here we have Dochi, who's created a banger, to be clear, all about anxiety. This video is now kind of 3 days old, has had 5.5 million views, and we're going to be posting it in these comments here. And we're all going to be posting at the same time, and we're all going to be, hopefully commenting in a way that, our aim is to try to get onto the top comments for these videos. So these comments here are kind of the first comments that are seen by everyone, and because it's quite young, a lot of these are have quite a lot of likes, but some of them don't. And one of the things that matters for whether comments quickly rise is how popular they're being, how quickly. So this one is is maybe the 6th comment down, has 67 likes because it's only 4 hours old. So having a really big burst of likes is a really important way for comments to rise up. So if we're getting kind of 30 people liking each and every one of the comments that we're about to share here, it rises up very quickly, and suddenly anybody who's visiting the comment sections of these incredibly popular videos, thousands of people are going to be checking the comment sections of these videos, and the first thing they're going to see is going to be us. It's going to be us posting about our protests. So that's that. I'm just going to be copying quickly my my comment template ready so you guys can see what I'm going to be posting as well. And then I might just read out what I'm going to be posting as well. I can see some really excellent protest signs as well that are being shared. They look great. Disability benefit cuts will take lives. Keir Starmer, disabled people harmer. Say no to PIP cuts. Excellent, excellent stuff. Tax the rich, not the Crips. These are excellent. These are all excellent. Amazing, amazing. Well done, guys. And I'm going to be posting good old Crips against cuts, if it allows me to. So I'm just going to quickly read out what I'm going to be kind of saying. So again, so the videos that we're going to be sharing on, if you're on a mobile, this is harder to do in a coordinated way because clicking onto one of these videos will take you away from the stream. So what you probably want to do is you want to get your comment ready and get it copied into your clipboard, including your ASCII sign. And then only when we start posting, go over to one of those videos, paste it there, and then we're going to be, posting together. This is, it's shortening the consultation email, which is annoying. Sorry, I'm just going to read out what my comment is going to be. So my comment for this is going to be, sorry to interrupt your evening. This is a virtual protest by Crips Against Cuts. We're a group of disabled people from the UK. We are protesting our Labour government's proposed changes to disability benefits. Many disabled people cannot protest in the streets, so we're protesting on the busiest part of the UK internet today. We'll be here for 5 minutes and then we'll be gone. Labour's proposed changes will put 250,000 people into poverty, including many people with anxiety and other serious mental health conditions. If you're moved by the message of this music video, please consider standing with us against these cuts. And then Crips Against Cuts, and then a link to, if you want to oppose these cuts, visit our link tree. And if you're based in the UK, respond to the consultation by 30th of June. Which I'm aware there was a little discussion in the comments already about whether responding to that consultation is something that we are going to be doing collectively, or if there's kind of something else that we should be aiming for as an action, which is a really interesting conversation to be having. I just want to clean up that link a little bit before I post. And I just want to try and find it. I'm not going to be able to. That's fine. I will take that out. All right. So I'm just going to verbally ask. So is everyone feeling somewhat confident about posting these? So people have got their banners. People are ready to comment on the first video. So the first video is Dochi by Anxiety. You can find a link to that video in the description of this video or in the Easy Read link. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be commenting on this. And then we're going to be liking each other's comments. And we're going to be doing this for kind of the next 5 minutes. So I just want to ask about whether that is something that people are understanding and that people are ready to go with. So I'm just going to start looking. Yeah. There is also a 20-second delay between me speaking and what's happening on the stream. Some people are sitting that out. That's absolutely fine as well. I think with these online actions, yeah, take part in the actions that make sense to you. Take part in the actions that speak to you. But yeah, there's also an element of depending on. Yeah, these are public comments, and there is an element of kind of being in public, seen to be doing this. Seeing some yeses, some ready to goes. All right. I'm going to post mine. So I'm going to post mine in 3, 2, 1. Commented. So that's me. That's mine. I believe you can like your own comment on these. The best way for us to be seeing each other's comments is going to be if we click sort by. You can then click newest first. So rather than top comments, clicking newest first. Should in a second refresh that to include the comment that I just posted. Unless something went wrong with my comment. But if I go to newest first, there we go. So we've already got some in here. It looks like mine didn't go in for some reason, so I might have to do that again. But yeah, some people's already here. So Jai's is here. Someone else's is as well. So just make sure that we're liking all of those comments that are going to be coming in there. And keep posting yours. Keep posting your own. That is absolutely the best way for us to be visibly visibly taking up space in these videos, in these kind of busiest places on the internet right now. I'm going to try posting a shorter version in case for some reason that's why it just wasn't coming through. Da, 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 da. I respond by 13th of June. Okay. So I'm just going to try posting that in case for some reason that comment didn't load. Okay, that one did. Delightful. Okay, so I'm going to resort by that and see if there's a few more here. Newest first. Amazing. Got some extra stuff here. Yay, people are here. We're protesting the busy internet. Amazing, amazing guys. Amazing, amazing that you guys are already here. Yeah, so we've got kind of 14 likes, 12 likes, 13 likes. This is great. Ooh, that's a really nice banner image, guys. Some really nice ones. I mean, mine just looks awful now. Right, I feel compelled to re-comment. So you can re-comment as well. That's absolutely fine. If you want to comment multiple times, that is something that you can do. That doesn't really hurt anything as long as you're not posting kind of multiple times, like immediately following each other. That can sometimes get you kind of like a timeout situation. But if there's kind of even just a few seconds between your replies, then just go through. I'm going to resort now as well to back to top comments and then back to newest first. Got some more in here. That's great. Dip into the pockets of the rich, not Pip. Excellent. Ooh, got to read more. Tax the rich from Sadie Bell. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing, guys. All right. So I think based on how many people we've got here, that's the best that we're going to get for right now. So I'm going to suggest we move on to the next video. So then what we're going to do is we cycle back. So I think some of those comments stand a good chance of being part of the top comments, not just the newest comments. But it takes a little while for the algorithm to catch up to that. And then hopefully what's going to happen is that we're going to get some interaction from people. We're going to get people replying to our comments. That's another thing that we can be doing as well to help bolster for the algorithm what's happening. So you can reply to some of the comments that have been made just by saying solidarity or Crip solidarity. And again, that's just going to be helping the algorithm to kind of pick up these comments as important comments. These are comments that people are interacting with. These are comments that we should show to more people. Sorry, I am starting to lose my voice a little. I'm probably going to mute for a couple minutes, but keep replying to each other. Jai, help me out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, everybody, get on to the second one, which I just posted the link to the second video. Do I have a face? Oh, yes, I do. That's nice. Just checking I was actually there for you guys. Yes, and let's all start commenting on there. And I'll see whether I can see you all. Oh yeah, I can see a couple of comments. That's good. Do you know what? I genuinely didn't realise Britain's Got Talent was still going on either. So that was a nice surprise for me. Oh, great. My internet is now deciding to have a momentary reprise of working. But I can see you all there, so that's good. Oh, Libby's just put that she thinks that comments with links on them don't show up, which, yes, I can believe that that could be an issue. Becca's just shared the link for the second video as well, so that's good. Oh, and I think my internet's back, so hopefully we can now actually see some more of these comments. Yeah, I can see some Crips against cuts, being in the busiest part of the internet. All right, this is looking good, guys. Yeah, and also if you've got a minute and you're just interested, feel free to pop back to those videos in the next couple of days and like things and reply to comments. As last time we did this, there was quite a few quite curious people asking about what this was all about, actually, why there was so many comments from the supposed Crips against cuts. So yeah, it was really good that some people went back and explained some things. So yeah, if you've got the time, do that, but if you don't worry about it either. Yeah, I like Labour can piss off as well, to be fair. Oh, and if it doesn't work, I would, if it's the actual art, I'd just choose a different type, like, you know, the ones I keep posting in the boxes, those box ones, for some reason often seem to work quite well. Right, I actually need to post some of mine. I'm slacking here. But yeah, I can see from the shared screen that it's looking good. We're doing well here. And as it is nearly 8:30, and that is when we're supposed to be finishing, I think it might be a good idea to move on to the last one. I get that might be a little bit too soon, but let's do that so we don't run out of spoons. Oh, well, I'm glad that you had some good inspiration, Emma. yeah, and Becca agrees that the smaller ones are definitely less likely to glitch. I think, yeah, definitely I can post the bigger ones in like actual comments on a video, but in sort of the live stream comments, it definitely seems to glitch out for some reason. So yes, as it's now 8:30, I'm going to post the link to the third video, and I think we should probably go over to it now. There we are. Let's go down and start posting. Just need to find all my ASCII arts, because I like to open multiple tabs and have a different one on each of them, and then try and not spam the comments too much, obviously, but post them all one by one. Yes, the other thing that is probably worth mentioning actually is there is a PIP consultation going around where they are asking people to talk to them about what people spend their PIP money on, and I think it's very much felt. So actually on the Crips Against Cuts official Instagram, Fingers does a really good talk about why this PIP consultation, which is supposed to get you to input what you are actually spending on your PIP, is a good idea to not fill out at all, because it's from the government, and you know, it could be things like I use my PIP for mobility aids, and then that could maybe potentially lead to them deciding that maybe the county council or something should actually be providing these things. So yes, if you've not seen about that already, go and watch Fingers' speech on the Crips Instagram about why it's a good idea to not be filling that out. And wow, these comment sections looking good. Let's go back to this. Oh yes, everybody. There is some really, really good looking stuff in here. Nice, we've got some replies. Yeah, this is looking good, everybody. And I hope everyone is also, oh, I do apologise if my links aren't coming through. I wonder why. Oh well. Becca's on it, so all is good. Yeah, I hope everyone is feeling immensely proud of themselves for what they've done today. We've done two really good micro actions here, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. And yeah, these comments are looking really good. This is a virtual protest. Yes, and this person is a British YouTuber as well, so hopefully this will all be a bit more localized to the UK than the last time we did this. And yeah, let's hope that lots and lots of people end up seeing all of our comments. I'm sure they will. Yes, I agree. They will definitely use the results of the PIP consult on what people spend their money on their PIP as a way to justify cuts. Yes, I very much agree with that comment. Yeah, oh, like that comment. Help us oppose Labour's cruel war on disabled people. It might not affect you today, but it could affect you tomorrow. Crips against cuts. Well said. Fund welfare, not warfare. Good hashtag, that one. Labour can piss off. Still great. And then what's this one say? Capitalism is disabling. nice. And then a bit about how this is a virtual protest. Yeah, to be honest, I think you're all, you know, you've got a hang of this way more than I do, to be honest. If you feel like you didn't manage to get as much comments on one of the others, feel free to pop back to one of them. But also, it's now 35 minutes past 8, so as much as I'm sure none of us want this to end, we should probably be sensible and not let this go on too long. So I hope everybody has had a good evening and has been enjoying writing in all these comments. Ooh. And yeah, oh yes, that's a very important thing to say, is don't forget to maybe subscribe to this YouTube so that you can find us all easier for the next Micro Action Mondays.
Thank you, Jai. Thank you for taking over as my voice completely failed me there and I started coughing. Yeah, thank you everyone for taking part in the actions today. It got very dark while that was happening. Look how blue I am. This is absurd. I can put the light on, but it's bad positioning for the video. Now you can barely see me. But yeah, thank you all for being here. And again, the actions we're taking, they feel small, and that's because they are. With their micro actions, this is what we're doing together. But they have a big impact. And as one of our speakers at the online protest said, this is a marathon and not a sprint. We have to be engaging in these actions in a way that is kind of sustainable for us. And the hope with doing this every single week on a Monday is that it's going to grow every time that we do it. So hopefully the next time we're going to have more people and more people. I'm going to have this snowball effect of kind of highly effective but really kind of sustainable actions that we all take together. And yeah, it's going to roll into kind of the next really big event that we all do together, which will be kind of around the next National Day of Action at the start of June, I believe, which I think is going to concentrate a lot more on the impending Green Paper consultation deadline. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for being here with us. It's been amazing just being with fellow Crips, taking part in these actions together. We really appreciate your time. And we hope to see you again next week. Bye for now.